Right, I did a channeling for the 3 missing people out in North Carolina. It was for Faith Roach, April Jones, and Kevin Craig. Those are the 3 that are missing. It's a case that's all related. So I channeled these 3, and the version of the story that I got was pretty simple. There is a main person named Kevin Maller who had a bad batch of drugs, and he is the source of all these ODs. He sold some to Jonathan Argo, and Jonathan Argo sold some of that bad batch to Kevin Craig. Kevin Craig OD'd out in the wilderness somewhere. His hint was Bawana. I don't know what that means. It could be nothing. Maybe I got it wrong. I might have to do a second reading. But he can be found out in the wilderness, somewhere OD'd. And now going back up to Kevin Mallard and Jonathan Argo. We'll do Jonathan Argo next. Jonathan also shared with Faith Roach this bad batch. And when Faith OD'd, her hint where she could be found is DM, D-E-I-M. Could be nothing. I'd like to do a second channeling for these individuals to see if I can get any more information. But Jonathan Argo buried Faith Roach outside somewhere. And Kevin Miller shared some with April Jones, this bad batch. And April Jones OD'd. Her message was, I'm sorry, to her family and friends. And her hint was me in Oklahoma. And so Kevin had to have, if she's in Oklahoma, Kevin would have had to have drove at least 12 hours with April's body. And then I got the impression, after asking a few questions, that she was buried off some backcountry dirt road in some random place, meaning that he's never been there before. It was random how he found the place. He just basically was like, oh, this looks like a spot, that he can't be seen and that nobody's going to find a body. And basically what it comes down to is both Kevin and Jonathan, they know that they both buried a person. They made a pact. They're keeping it a secret. Neither of them want to be responsible for either of the girls. And that's why the girls were buried. They don't want to be responsible for their deaths. And the ODs were accident. The spirits, they're telling me that these 2, drug addicts or whatever, they did not want their friends to die. And when it comes to these things, I really don't think anybody ever intends for anybody else to OD. It's just a thing that happens sometimes, especially if it's a bad batch or a strong batch. These ODs were accidental, but now that, the ODs happened, now you got these 2 that are trying to conceal. They didn't do the right thing. They didn't report it to the police. They didn't want to get in trouble. So now you have these 2 that are both responsible for burying a corpse, and they're just keeping their mouth shut about it. And that was very simple story from the spirit side of what happened. I can't prove factual either way if this is how it really went down, but this is what I was told by Spirit, and hopefully this will help families or whoever who wants to look at this from a different point of view. This was the information I was given by Spirit. All right, thank you.